The Heroes and the Hidden by Kitty Cat on AO3. Episode 31. Chapter 26. I Cry or Don't Make Noise at All. Hizashi yawned, rubbing at his eyes. He had a pretty uneventful patrol, so when Shouta called him home for an emergency, he had quickly called one of his heroes with his agency to cover his patrol before rushing back to their shared apartment, making sure he wasn't followed. He had been waiting on the couch for 10 minutes now. All his texts to Shouta were going unanswered. He had no idea if he was even okay, but he wasn't supposed to be on duty yet, so Hisashi wasn't too worried. But as the time continued to tick with no response, his mind raced. Had a villain injured him? Was he bleeding out right now because Hisashi wasn't fast enough? Had he meant to go to his address? Hisashi pulled up his location sharing at the little red dot as it got closer and closer to the house. It was slow. Slower than Shouta was when he was in his gear. Had someone taken Shota's phone? Were they tracking his location right now? He dropped his phone on the couch, hurrying out the window that faced an empty alley. Scaling the roof, he ran to where he had seen Shota's location, jumping over the roofs. He wasn't trained in parkour necessarily, but Shouta had been teaching him when they both had free time. He scanned the streets, watching an elderly couple walk past, two children race past laughing, a father with his son on his shoulder slowly walking, a group of teenagers chatting loudly. He paused. The father looked awfully similar to his roommate. It was Shouta. He had the small purple-haired boy from the conference with him. They hadn't had time to discuss who the kid was once the conference ended, but he looked peaceful sitting on Shota's shoulders. Hisashi jumped down from the alley behind the pair and snuck up, hoping to scare Shouta. Hi, Hisashi, he said, turning on his heel to stare at him. Damn! I thought I had you that time, he said, staring up at the kid. Hey, little listener, he said, waving at the kid on Shota's shoulders. You are dating? He signed quickly. You live together? Hisashi laughed, rubbing his eyes. No, we aren't, little listener. Just friends and roommates. Shouta grabbed the kid by his armpits, lifting him off to sit on his hip. I already told you. Hitoshi, me, and Hisashi are not a couple. Izuku was mistaken. Hitoshi frowned before shaking his head. No, Izuku isn't wrong. Shouta groaned, ruffling his hair. Anyways, Hisashi, sorry for calling emergency. He starts walking back to the apartment, Hisashi following. I wasn't worried, Hisashi counters, retrieving an eyebrow raise from Shouta. Anyways, who's this little listener? Shouta looked at Hitoshi before looking ahead. This is our new roommate, Hitoshi Shinsou. Hitoshi turned over the soft bed, trying to get comfortable. Eraserhead and Present Mike had taken him in, and showed him the house, explaining that if he needed anything, he could tell them. Hitoshi was hungry, but he had refused the food, saying he wanted to go to bed. He didn't have the stomach for the meal right now. There was so much change in his life, so much he wasn't prepared for. Life in the Hondas was hard, but he knew what would happen. He knew the consequences of breaking the rules. He knew where his stash of food was. He knew which floorboards creak to avoid when he went to the bathroom, but he didn't know any of that here. He didn't know the rules. Eraserhead had told him that the only rule was that he could ask either of them if he needed anything. But he didn't want to burden them. They were both pro-heroes who had a long time working and saving people. Hitoshi didn't need saving. There were people more deserving of their time, like Izuku and Toga. He didn't need to be helped at all. He knew how to do everything himself. He could do it alone. He was alone. He had Toga for years, and then she had left him. Left him in the room that suddenly felt empty to be in. But he had Izuku then. His muttering with his notes and lessons with sign language had filled the room. It was still missing something, but it was full of life. Until he had caused Izuku to become a beast. He had gotten in the middle of a fight. He had needed saving. So Izuku had to save him. And now, He was being hunted by all the pro heroes in the country. Eraserhead refused to answer his questions about both Izuku and the creature when he tried to push. He hadn't told anyone they were the same yet. That would make it more dangerous for Izuku. He didn't want to cause him more pain, so he kept quiet, like he always did. President Mike had tried to get him to talk as they toured the apartment, but he bit his tongue, signing instead of speaking. President Mike had explained that when he was at home, he took his hearing aid out to be more careful. He told Hitoshi that his quirk had caused him and his parents to lose all their hearing, so he had to learn sign at an early age. It was the language that he and Eraserhead used when they were at the apartment, so he might need to stomp or tap him on the shoulder for attention. But that was okay. He didn't need attention. He was okay on his own. He had been excited to live with his favorite hero, but the novelty had worn off. He had kicked Eraserhead out of his own room and onto the couch. He was such a burden, even when he didn't want to be. But Eraserhead seemed relieved when he smiled and let him touch his hair. Seemed happy whenever Hitoshi talked to him, even if it was just one word. So he tried. He tried to act happy when they told him what they thought was good news. Tried to not think about the creature being his fault when they were around to see. Tried to sleep past the nightmares and thoughts of Izuku and Toga dying, of his parents leaving him on the side of the road. He tried to talk, despite his throat closing up every time he wanted to. Tried to hide the tears in his hoodie, or wipe them before anyone could see. He couldn't be a hero if he was weak. If he cried at night, he would be able to smile during the day. Smile at President Mike, who told him good morning before heading on patrol. Smile at Eraserhead before him giving him math problems and English work. Smile as they hugged him goodnight. Smile as their hands touched his bare skin, forcing away the chill. Smile until the door closes behind him. When the door closes, he cried. He cried as he ripped the itchy clothes from his skin, throwing them on the floor. Cried as he sat in the corner with a washcloth trying to rub the feeling off. Cried as he tossed and turned in bed. Cried as the nightmares ran through courses with images of Izuku tearing the head off of Akin and Toga drinking Izuku's blood. Smile. Cry. Cry. Smile. An endless cycle of raw emotions and forced laughs tore through his body. Throughout all of it, he remained silent. Just when I thought you would get at least a little bit of fluff, you... Lemon. I love lemons. I'm gonna call you Kitty Cat now. Because what the fuck? Okay. Does the sound of cats or dog grooming themselves make anyone irrationally angry? Like, I can't physically stand it. It makes my skin crawl. I kicked my cat out of my room multiple times because it's just blah. I love my angsty bits. We might get some fluff soon, maybe. You lying liar who lies. Summary. Toga's point of view. Izuku gets out of the bar. Let's go! Oh my god! Okay. Chapter 27, and even though we barely know each other, maybe this is some fluff. I mean, okay, maybe not fluff, but at least bittersweet. I need something. Something, guys. Something. Holy Christ. My God. Anyways, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.